been caught in the undertow. So toxic, but I can't get enough. You bury me, bury me. Yeah, you bury me, bury me. You've got me hypnotized. Me, I am myself. You've got me hypnotized. Whoa. I can see, I can hear, going crazy for the luck. It's got me hypnotized. You've got me hypnotized. Yeah, you are. Everyone is watching me when I'm coming around. They all are judging me when I'm lying on the ground. I've got no shelter, I've got no escape. My life is a prison and I can't run away. I feel it in my bones. I'm losing it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Taking Over. I am All That Ed Fries, and I am joined once again by my returning tag team partner. She's no Mike the Ref, but she'll do. She's the natural astridpizarro. Astrid, how does it feel to be back?
I'm on the best coast, the East Coast.
Yes. The best coast is absolutely the East Coast. That is wholeheartedly definite. I also want to thank the people at the social media for our local establishment for choosing my one moment where I've forgotten about Mandy in the past 3 years as the promotion for the show this week. I really appreciate that from the bottom of my heart, amongst other things.
I get you. I get you.
Bobby says, good morning, good evening, my friends, and you're very welcome. We'll have words, Bobby. We'll have words. But no, thank you very much for jumping in, Bobby. I greatly appreciate it. We're here to talk about NXT Roadblock. And dare I say, NXT, they decided to go for it tonight.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It just felt like a lot of everything, but you know, it's how it is when you're building up to stand and deliver. You expect a lot of stuff to happen on the show, so
Yeah, but it didn't feel like they jam-packed it, but it felt full. It didn't feel like they did too much, but they didn't do too little.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was a good appetizer for Stand and Deliver. We got a good friend, Shawn Spears, jumping in. Thank you for jumping into the 2K stream this afternoon. I greatly appreciate it. For those that don't know, I have got my 40 years of WrestleMania edition for 2K, and I played it a little bit earlier this afternoon. I'll be playing it again tomorrow night at some point during the evening. During AEW Dynamite's probably a good one, since Lord knows I won't be watching that.
Yeah, we know you.
Yeah.
You don't want to watch Jay White.
Well, I certainly do not want to watch Jay White versus Orange Cassidy. No, not Cassidy. Is it OC? No, he challenged for the Atlantic, so it's Roderick, right?
No. I was going to say you posted about it, and I forgot now.
Yeah, I posted about it because it was Jay White, and I posted that I was falling asleep.
I'm terrible at this.
I don't know.
No, Darby. Oh, my God.
Oh, even worse, Darby. The only man who hates his body more than Jeff Hardy, Darby Allin.
Very true.
Anyways, NXT on track. We started tonight with Lexis King in a sports car introducing us to the show and the stuff that's going on. And God, I miss the days of Toxic Attraction doing this. Like remember the summer one where they had Toxic Attraction like at the pool and texting? That one made more sense. They have the ones in the summer where they have the entire NXT locker room in a pool and they're all at like a party chilling and talking about it. That was really cool. Lexis King is not cool. I don't need more Lexis King on my fucking TV screen at NXT. But I'm irritated. He's a heel. He's doing his job.
Very
we then get the Asylum match, or as I call it, the Ambrose Asylum match, because that's exactly what this is. Me and Mike were having some fun with the Asylum being the location of TNA's pay-per-views for the early days in Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
It was called the Asylum, and they said it was the Asylum years. Right after they got their first TV deal, when they stopped doing the weekly pay-per-views, it would all take place from a place in Tennessee that they would call the Asylum. But no, the Ambrose Asylum is a cage littered with weapons. And man, they went through a litany list. I have written down a table, a door, trash cans, kendo stick, chair, duct tape, straitjacket. Hell, Donovan Dijak did a moonsault off the top of the cage, and it wasn't the finish.
No. Definitely was not.
Barry, obviously, with our
It
favorite
was rubbish.
English, it was rubbish. The camera work was rubbish. Wrestling was average. You know what? I highly disagree with you on that one. I thought this was really fun and interesting. I thoroughly enjoyed this match. It's a little bit of a weapons wild, just do all the stuff. But you know what? They did all the stuff. Nobody was bleeding profusely from their head. You know, they did it all in 20 minutes. Nice and tight for time. Like, it went, it did the things it needed to. Gacy still looks like a horror movie villain because even after 2 Feast Your Eyes, he's still sitting up smiling.
Yeah, through the tape too.
Through the tape, he's smiling at Dijak, whom he can't see. He just knows where Dijak is. Like, I'll be honest, I thought it was bad. Dijak moonsault's better than EO. This moonsault was EO has a much more consistent moonsault. But she's not. When you see a 6'10" guy doing a moonsault off the top of a cage, it's more impressive than any little lady doing a moonsault. Like, no offense to EO. I love EO. I think EO's great. She's doing a fantastic job as SmackDown Women's Champion. That being said, little EO cannot outdo Dijak off the top of a cage when he hits it right.
And the do not open box, that was pretty funny too. So we can't miss that.
I love
part.
the do not open box. That was great setup. Great setup by Gacy to try to use it, knowing what was inside of it, to make Dijak do it, to have Dijak get hit in the balls with it. Like, it was great. Yes, it's campy. Yes, it's stupid. Yes, it's WWE. But you know what? I had fun. And I like when I get to have a little bit of hardcore and feel like I'm not being put through my paces with, like, just blood pouring everywhere. I'm not a blood guy. I don't want to see blood everywhere. It doesn't do anything for me. Shawn Cena says, in case anyone didn't know, this is the second Asylum match. The first one was, as I mentioned, the Ambrose Asylum match against Chris Jericho in 2006 at Extreme Rules. This was all because of Mitch the Potted Plant.
Mitch. Oh my god.
That whole match goes all the way back to Mitch the Potted Plant.
Yeah.
From Ambrose's version of the Jericho highlight reel.
Yep.
Ashley, what did you think of the cage match here?
No, like you said, I like that it was a good balance between, I don't want to say extreme, but like that kind of extreme, I don't want to say gimmick, but you know what I mean. That and how fun it was between both of them, and just I like the psychology from Gacy. And like I said it before, Gacy's one of my favorite, like not only like characters, but like people in general. Just the fact that he just smiles through the tape, as even though, like you said, he can't see Dijak, but he's just smiling through it. It's just fun to see them interact the way they did. And like you said, I also like having Dijak do the finisher twice to be able to defeat Gacy the way he did. And even then, Gacy was like basically not giving up, but having a smile on his face at the end of it. So yeah, it was pretty fun match to start the show.
Yeah, I thought it did what it needed to do. It sets up where we're headed with these two individuals, wherever they might go. But it doesn't make Gacy look bad, and it makes Dijak look like a badass.
Yep.
Which is nice for Dijak because he's lost a lot, and it's one of those things that you need to definitely go ahead and give a little bit there. We then see Rizzo trying to hype up Tony D'Angelo. Thankfully, Stax comes in here and saves the day, talking about, all the things that Stax talks about, how, Tony's got this. And Tony's like, I need you to go get Luca. We need to go ahead and do this. And so Stack walks off. He gets Luca. Luca comes in. And Tony's like, look, I need a consigliere. I need a guy who's going to do what I need to do. No questions asked. Just do what I do. I got the underboss. I got Rizzo. I love how Rizzo doesn't have a job. She's just Rizzo.
Yeah, it was
like,
Riz.
Rizzo
I got Riz.
is enough of a job. It's just, it's just something. But Luca agrees. Our man Luca is now part of the family. Luca is in the family.
I don't know if it's me though. Like even seeing him in this scene with all four of them together, I just felt like he belonged there. Like he like he looks like he fits with them. So just seeing him, I was like, you better accept because you look like you're in the group already. I don't know why. There's something about him that just sounds like he belongs in the family. He really does already, and it's nice. I think it'll be a good opportunity for him to be on TV more often, which obviously we want to see because we're Team Luca in this household.
We are definitely Team Luca here. And you know what? I like the idea of Tony D'Angelo having a guy, having a lawyer. Every mobster has that corrupt lawyer who does what they need him to do. So I love the idea of Luca being the lawyer for the family. It just fits the thing. Luca isn't like hard Italian, but like he's got that feel, like Carusafino. Like the name just feels Italian. Again, unlike Adriana Rizzo, he feels like he just, as you said, he fits.
Yeah.
I'll be excited to see more coming from him. Fallon is chatting with Riley. I thought Thea was going to walk in here. I really did.
Me too. Me too. Why didn't that happen? I wanted that to happen instead of what happened. I know it sounds silly because I obviously, like you told me, we think about like them in the real life. But at the same time, I feel like this was such a lame way to set up this match. I would have preferred Thea coming in here, be like, "What do you do with my man?" Like kind of thing. And it's like I'm jealous of you guys. But no, why?
So Fallon's chatting up Riley, thanking him for talking to Thea, explaining to her what's going on, explaining that she got some bad advice, that she was trying to play hard to get.
No, it was a really bad advice. She definitely highlighted the real bad advice.
Well, yes, because JC's trying to steal Thea's man, which is the whole point. However, Riley started to look really uncomfortable when his real life girlfriend Blair Davenport walks in.
Fiance.
Oh, are they engaged now? Oh, poor Riley.
Fiance.
Anyway, his real life fiance walks into the scene and they start going back and forth. And she's like, "You're not his type." And then Fallon with the line of the night. How would you know his type? And I'm just like, if you know, you know. The look on, and poor Riley has no clue what to do here. He's still too young at this to know what the fuck to do. He's just staring off at the cam. Like he's not looking directly at the camera. He's like just over it. Like, I'm gonna sit here not sure what to do. Because in storyline, he has to be interested with what Fallon's saying and that she's defending him. But on the other end, he has to make sure when he goes home to Blair that she's not, mind you, she'll understand that this is television. But he probably thought, oh God, she's going to try to do a promo. In defense, Blair can cut a good promo. I've seen her work. I've seen her work on the UK scene. She can cut a good promo. I mean, hell, she learned from Will Ospreay. And Ospreay cuts a good promo. Ospreay, the better version of Jay White. Anyways, we get the Wolf Dog entrance. And when we come back from break, Lyra and Tatum are talking about the women's tag team title match. And Tatum starts being a little too creepy for even me. I thought I was all of a sudden watching TNA. Because she's talking about like going into the darkness and like finding the demons and pulling them out to do stuff. And I'm like, the fuck, did Rosemary take over Tatum Paxley for a minute here? Like,
I mean, she did say taking over the spirit and giving them some agony.
Yeah, like, I'm like, what the fuck? What in the TNA am I watching right now? Like,
Yeah.
if you're gonna take from TNA, take the good stuff from TNA. Please don't take from Rosemary. As much as I love Rosemary, I adore Rosemary. I think she's great. I wouldn't want anybody else doing what Rosemary does. There's a reason why only Rosemary belongs doing the creepy stuff. She's really, really good at it. Tatum's not.
It was funny though.
It was fun. It did a thing. I didn't like it. And it didn't make a whole lot more sense. And we'll talk about later on between Tatum and Kairi, because that felt a little weird too, but we'll get there. We then had the tag team title match as Chase U comes out with all the ladies. They got Jasmine out there in her best Mandy Rose attire. They are making her as Mandy Rose as they can. Do you think Shawn misses having Mandy Rose by JC Jane's side? Because Jasmine Nix is a Mandy Rose who can't talk.
Oh, dang. Maybe.
Just saying. Anyways, this is a fun tag match. It's not great. It's not great. It's good. It does just what it needs to do. Much like the cage match. It doesn't hit super highs. Mm-hmm. It doesn't go crazy. It just does the bare basics. It gets the story across of Duke Hudson working, getting in some trouble. He gets the hot tag to Andre Chase. Chase does some really good and fun and interesting things. He avoids the spear on the outside, and Bron Breakker spears the stairs. He goes ahead and tries to get Baron Corbin in there, but he accidentally kicks Baron Corbin back into his corner where he tags Bron Breakker. He hits the deep six. Bron Breakker hits the spear. 1, 2, 3, game over. Andre Chase has to restart his match.
Yeah. I mean, one thing I do like, I'm enjoying Bron Breakker running those ropes. He looks like a badass whenever he does it. So I know he's going to keep doing that for sure because people enjoy it. That's for sure. The part that really made me laugh was that part when he tagged in Baron. I forgot what move he did on Andre, and he goes to pin Andre, and then Baron's like trying to get him off on Andre so he can pin him. And I was like, I was just in my mind thinking, isn't Baron the one that's legal? And then just exactly as he starts removing Bron literally from Andre, and I was like, he was doing fine up until that. I couldn't concentrate after that happened. But
wrestlers do wrestler things sometimes. It's
sometimes. It made me laugh though.
At least the referee didn't try counting it. That's important.
I don't remember if he did, but it was funny though.
Shawn Spears, I figured Corbin and Bron would lose since Bron's on SmackDown. Nope. I think they've got one more big show left in them at Stand and Deliver, where they're going to go ahead and lose these tag titles to the Good Brothers. I don't know about this tag team tournament that was announced. That was something the No Quarter Catch crew made up as far as I'm concerned. I didn't see hide nor hair of that this morning on Twitter.
I was confused.
I was streaming for 3 hours, so I don't know. Maybe it came out sometime while I was streaming. Because I went and took a nap.
I feel like I would have seen it over my timeline though. And it's like I didn't see anything. But suddenly they're talking about some kind of like tag team tournament we're gonna enter, and I was like, did I miss something? Because
you asked me, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I think they made it up.
I was thinking when I zone out, Ed is awake, so Ed must have known it. If you don't know, then there's an issue.
Yeah, neither one of us saw that tweet. I'm gonna need to make sure that I have Ava's tweets on alert so that I can see when Ava tweets. I'll add Ava to Nikita Lyons tweets that I always get alerted to me. We have Kelly Kincaid backstage talking to Carmelo Hayes. Melo says that it's disgraceful what Ilja Dragunov did. And he says that no, not only is he going to win tonight, because he has to win tonight, because he wants to be the first person to ever win the NXT championship back-to-back years at Stand and Deliver. I like the idea. He also talks about how Tony D'Angelo isn't going to be able to do what he did last week because this week he picked out these people personally. Well, Melo, why are you ever letting anybody from NXT pick out your security? Don't you know better than that? Haven't you seen how poorly the NXT security handles the parking lot?
I was about to say parking lot alone is just one little bit away. Yeah.
Mel, how's the weather up there? I hear you guys have been having it a little bit rough. I hear there's something about ice. I don't know. It was something that came across my feed today with a short about you and Andre talking about ice and stuff like that. So let us know what's going on there. And if you're not watching, Mel says it's damn cold. If you're not watching, every Friday night, make sure that you guys are catching the Japanese wrestling update right here on our local establishment. As Andre and Mel Ball, go ahead and give us the most important news we need to know every week about what's going on in Stardom and New Japan. It's definitely worth a watch. It's how I keep up with my wrestling from the Japanese side of the world. Bobby says, rough is an understatement with the weather here in Western Canada. Well, then maybe you guys should move to the East Coast. Come live closer to us so we can all do things like this live and in person. Imagine live shows, guys, if y'all weren't up in East Bumfuck Canada. He says we're just shy of the snowfall record here in Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan. I think it's supposed to be Saskatchewan. I don't know. Barry says they made it so obvious that one of the guards was Trick, pausing the camera on that one that looked like Trick. Yep, Astrid was saying that to me in the chat. The whole night she was talking about how she thought it was Trick. We'll get to that later. We get Shawn Spears coming out. I love his new music. I love his entrance. Truth will ultimately prevail because pain will bring it to light. Very cool. I like the line. I love the whole aesthetic that he's got going on. The chairman, but more than that, it's this another version of the chairman gimmick with the light and the dark. I really think it's an interesting way they're playing it. We'll talk more about the light and the dark when we get to his promo.
Yep.
Brogan Finley debuts on NXT. For those that don't know why Astrid is so excited, this is the boyfriend of the one Billy Starks, whom Astrid interviewed on her show. He is now under the name of Uriah Connors.
That name sucked, though. Why would you not put Finley?
Well, because he's not a Finley, right? Is he a David?
Yeah. Fourth generation. Explain it to me. I thought at least the last name, I just changed the name, but not Uriah Connors. I was like, who the heck is this? No, I'm not ranting.
Sound like you're going to rant. I was just going to give you
the but no, it's just like that name, though. It sounded so like name generator. I hate it.
Absolutely NXT name generator. Uriah Connors?
I was like, if I'm hoping he does some kind of promo like Lexi's Kid and gives us an explanation for the name, because I really don't like it so far. But
it's no Javon Evans, but we don't get to see much of Uriah Connors in this match because he gets squashed. Ultimately and quickly squashed by the chairman. The C4 is a nice finish. I've always liked it. I thought it was always a decent finish. It'll be fine for Shawn Spears. He's big enough that I think he can pull it off against some of those bigger guys in NXT. I think it'll look cool. He then starts cutting a promo talking about Ridge. I saw Trick in the corner of my thing here with Barry's last comment. Talking about Ridge and how Ridge is doing this for his family and how it's it's great morality, but it's not what he is. But the greatness is he's playing off the way they have it lit. Half his face is lit and half his face is in darkness. And he's playing off this two-face that I really loved. I love the idea. Okay. Yes. The promo is mostly meaningless, generic stuff. But I think this meaningless, generic stuff is going to be the formation of a character. I think it sounds generic now, but I think that they're leading to something. With the proverb he has at the beginning, truth will ultimately prevail because pain will bring it to light. I think all of this stuff is leading to a specified gimmick that he's doing. And while, yes, I agree, it's not the greatest version of word soup that he's giving. I like the way he's delivering it. I like the idea of the lighting with the half in, half out. It's very Two-Face of Batman. You know, he has a dark side and a light side, and he's shining the mirror on all of NXT and of all the people because he understands that he has his darkness and he's okay with it. But everybody else tries to hide from it. They run from it. I like that.
Give it a 10.
And again, I'm looking for a co-host. No.
I had to.
Like I said, I know Barry's not into it. I'm totally into it. Ridge comes out. Ridge starts beating him up. He puts his hands down. He's like, hit me. And Ridge goes ahead and hits him a whole bunch. And then Shawn slides him the chair. And Ridge is about to take a nice shot at him. And the refs get in the way. And Ridge is still thinking about taking that shot. And then he gets mad and he slams the chair on the ground and he walks away. And Spears just leans over and grabs the chair. I like it. Yeah. I don't know exactly what it's going to be, but I like the fact that there's a defined character here. There's something here that Shawn's playing with, both Shawn Spears and Shawn Michaels.
Yes, there's a good film.
They have an idea of what they're doing. And you know what? If you're going to bring somebody like him back and you're going to make it new, at least have an idea. Have a defined road that you're going to take. They have their road laid out. They know what they want to do with Shawn Spears, which honestly is better than what most companies do when somebody new comes in. Especially NXT. NXT's been known for years for having people come in and being like, well, things. No, Spears has got an identity. He's got a story, and he's ready to go. And Ridge Holland versus Shawn Spears in what I'm thinking is going to be a chair match at Stand and Deliver is going to be fun. I know they're facing each other next week, apparently, according to what Shawn Spears says later. But I'm excited for the match of Stand and Deliver because it's got to be a match of Stand and Deliver coming up.
Yeah, I think it's going to be one of those matches that it barely lasts, like, not even 5 minutes because they definitely have, like, a part 2 to it, and that's will be Stand and Deliver. But what I like about Shawn is that he's not giving you everything 100% right there and then. He's just building it up and giving you that foundation. So it keeps you intrigued as he starts building everything up. And it's just nice to see it. And trust me, being somebody that has been watching NXT for quite a while, I'm happy to see somebody like Shawn Spears in NXT.
Yeah, it'll be good for flatbacks. It'll be good to get a little bit more local people who can be the extras at the shows from a local wrestling school. You know, with Shawn Spears and with Tyler Breeze, both now working for WWE in different ways. Shawn Spears on television, Tyler Breeze working behind the scenes at Up, Up, Down, Down with an Up, Up, Down, Down contract while still working the indies. It's nice to see them all back here. They'll be able to get their students in and out. And who knows? There are some interesting flatback students that I wouldn't mind having in NXT.
Yeah.
Chris Danger.
Yeah.
Flatback student, Chris Danger. I wouldn't mind having him there. We have Noob popping in and saying hello and saying that he really enjoyed Roadblock. I did too. I thought it was a fun show. It's not an A+ show. It's a B show. It's a good show. It was better than a regular episode of NXT, but it didn't over deliver. It didn't go crazy. It just kind of did the things it needed to do.
Yeah.
He also says that I believe the Kabuki Warriors should face the women's tag teams from 3 brands at WrestleMania 40. I'd love a 3-brand match at WrestleMania 40. However, I think it's going to be you're going to get tag teams from the main roster. I think it's going to be Shayna and Zoe. I think it's going to be Liv and somebody. And I think it's going to be Chelsea and Piper versus the Kabuki Warriors.
And maybe Nadia and Tegan Piper.
Nah, she'll be back. She'll be fine.
Yeah, probably Tegan and Nadia.
I'll be honest, I didn't even know she was missing.
She's injured, yeah.
Well, then slot in Natty and Tegan because reasons. Natty Mania, sure.
It has to happen. Natty has to have a Mania match.
She doesn't have to. She really doesn't have to.
Well, I didn't say I was happy about it. I just said it has to happen.
Speaking of things that have to happen, Josh Briggs comes up to Brooks Jensen and tries to talk some sense in it.
Thank you, Bobby.
You know
Appreciate the support.
You know what, Bobby? You can bring that up to your special guest on Ring Respect Radio this week. And I'm not going to spoil who it is. I'm going to let you do that with the programming. But I know you've got a special guest this week on Ring Respect Radio as you guys are doing Through the Territories, and you guys are up in the Hart family area. That's Stampede Wrestling. Yes. For the life of me, I couldn't remember the name.
I was about to go on Discord and check.
No, it's Stampede Wrestling. It took me a minute, but I got there. So if you guys want to learn about Stampede Wrestling, the Calgary area with Stampede Wrestling is fantastic. There's some good stuff up there. I mean, it's mostly heart related. The best of the stuff in Stampede Wrestling is heart related, but Newbinco says Liv and Raquel should wrestle at WrestleMania 40. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I'm all for Liv having another partner other than Raquel. I really want Liv to have somebody other than Raquel. I don't like that combination. I just don't think it works.
I just don't want to live with any partner. She should be single. Why?
And
have her in a tag team.
Warriors versus Natty and Tegan versus Candice and Indy. Yeah, Candice and Indy are in there too. There's a whole bunch of options for the women's tag team titles at WrestleMania. They can do a gauntlet match. It's brand new in the game again this year. Just have the Kabuki Warriors run a gauntlet match. Getting back to NXT, Brooks and Briggs. Briggs comes up and says, "You sure you know what you're doing taking on Obafemi? You might have bitten off a little more than you can chew here, little man." And Brooks just goes off on him. "I know what I'm doing. You told me to grow some balls." He's like, "Yeah, I told you to grow some balls." And he's thinking in his head, "Not be stupid." But, Brooks fires up saying that he awakened something within him and he has to do this and he's going to take on Obafemi. And I'm just like, all right, Brooks, next week, last rites.
We'll miss you, buddy. We'll miss you.
It was nice while it lasted. I'll be happy to see you go. Don't let the door hit you with the good Lord split you. But to add a little bit of fun to this segment, at the very end of it, Brooks says, "All right, brother, well, good luck." And Jensen walks off, and Dijak comes walking in. And he says, "Call him brother, but you lied to his face." And just walks away.
Damn.
And I'm like, ooh, more Briggs and Dijak? I'm in for that.
Yeah.
Yes, this. Brooks is going to get destroyed by Obafemi. No, I don't want... Well,
I was about to say, you didn't read...
No. I did not read the whole thing. I just read the first couple words. I was like, yeah.
I was about to say, you didn't read the whole sentence, did you?
Nope. Not a chance in hell. 36 minutes. 36 minutes, Bobby.
You're like, up until here.
I read what I wanted to see and then stopped. Brooks is going to get destroyed by Obafemi. Cool.
You're like, there. I noticed it right away that you read it.
You notice as I'm reading and I'm going, oh, this continued. Bobby, 36 minutes. Heard.
Oh, very noted. Thanks.
Kelly Kincaid talks to Ilja Dragunov about the main event. Ilja says some things. They didn't mean anything. It was wrestling talk. I don't care. However, I do care that Stax and Luca come up next to him and they start talking about Tony and how he's going to go ahead and make sure that he gets to stand and deliver to face Ilja Dragunov. One way or another.
We'll see.
Stroke the beard I don't have no more because I shaved it all off. I shaved it all off. Anyways, it was fine. It set up something. And then we get our the first segment of the second hour. By the way, that's a good first hour, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't bad. Lyra and Tatum versus the Kabuki Warriors. Okay. I have thoughts. Why was Tatum and Kairi flirting in the beginning of this match when they were doing their crazy kooky girl things together? Because I don't know if it was flirting or not, but it felt like flirting. Especially when Kairi kept like backing herself up while smacking her ass towards Tatum. Like, I don't know what it was, but the only word I can say is flirting. No, you don't need to cool me off. I wasn't exactly enthralled by it. I was confused.
Making sure.
I don't know why. Is this something Kairi does all the time? Is this something I'm missing? I don't honestly. Oh, okay. Anime nonsense. That makes much more sense. Okay. Anime nonsense. Thank you. Thank you, Noob & Co. I knew I could count on you for the answer.
Wait. Let me give you. Is it gonna pop up?
Oh,
Maybe.
Sideways.
Oh, dang it.
No, you gotta turn it sideways.
Wait,
There we go.
kind of, maybe. There you
There
go.
it is. So, for those who don't know, if you're using StreamYard or other platforms, if you're using a Mac device, there are certain things you can do with your hands that will go ahead and do things. Like if you're to do I don't have a Mac, so I can do it without issue. But if you do 2 thumbs up to the sides, you can get fireworks to go off behind you.
You know how I realized when Bailey was on the bump, she actually, I think, did a thumbs up and it came up, and I don't think she reacted to it, but I think she realized it happened.
Barry saying Lyra and Tatum
Who?
are a decent tag team. Lyra and Tatum.
Okay, I was gonna say that's not what I heard the
I was
first
gonna
time.
say I was trying to say Tyra because that's what they've called themselves.
Tyra and
I'll
Tatum.
be honest, I kind of liked it. The team worked all right. They don't fit, but they also don't. They're not bad. And at this point, I'll take any women's tag team that feels like they belong together. Like they won't stay together. This is a one-time thing. It's going to just dissolve quickly. But it was all right. This match, I'll be honest, I lost interest about halfway through. I lost interest. I don't know why I lost interest. I did. It was fine. The Kabuki Warriors are great. They gave a lot in this match. I thought Lyra and Tatum really lived up to the billing with 2 main event women. They didn't look like they were being carried. They didn't look like they were out of place. They looked like they were. Ironically, I think Kairi was the one who missed more spots than Lyra or Tatum. There's a really funky spot where Kairi kind of stopped in the middle of a move before doing a tag team move with Lyra and Tatum both. But I mean, overall, the match was fine. I thought it was really good.
I feel like I was like concentrated, but not taking notes on it. But then they panned out to Thea backstage fighting with Izzy and I was gonna say Kairi, and with Kiana. Yeah, fighting.
You mean Thea yelling like a fucking jackal?
Yeah, that's why I put fighting backstage, and then they go back to the match, and I was like, "Why would you do in the middle of the match when I'm just concentrating on what I'm watching? You interrupt me with that, and then put me back to where I was. Like, don't do that to me. I don't like it during the match. It's like do it before or after, but not during it, please." Yeah, I was not a fan of it.
The match was fine. The Kabuki Warriors get the win with the elevated Kairi elbow, the insane elbow from an elevated position. It's great. It's fine. I like it. End of story. I mean, nothing was going to happen here. We weren't going to get new tag team champions, but I wanted to be a hope and a hope spot a couple more times in this match. Asuka and Kairi Sane are the only ones who are doing good in damage control, whereas Io Sky, she's just an NPC throughout the Kabuki Warriors run in damage control. I mean, I don't think Io Sky is necessarily an NPC. She's not the leader that I think WWE hoped she'd be, and I think her not getting the heel heat that they'd like has made Bayley's Royal Rumble win really lackluster. But again, that's another story for another day because that really doesn't do anything here. But yeah, I think Bayley's Rumble win is hurt by the fact that Io's not she's not a dominant heel champion right now. And there's a reason why, and it's unfortunate. There's a reason why they're not anywhere near the conversation of main eventing WrestleMania. At least Becky and Rhea are in the conversation with Seth, with that massive tag match. Rhea and Becky have done enough to be in the conversation to still main event. They're not going to, which is a shame, because I liked having one night main evented by the ladies and one night being main evented by Roman. I would say the men, but it's Roman. Roman main events one night, the ladies main event the other night. It would have been nice to have Rhea versus Becky, or, you know, to 2-night WrestleMania, 2 Royal Rumbles. The winner of the Rumble for the women always main events night 1 might just be a nice thing to do.
Yeah. As it was announced before the match started.
Yeah, but WWE is going to do there are multiple main events.
Oh, BS.
Remember Backlash where there were 3 main events?
Yeah.
Anyways, Roxanne attacks Lyra after the match, and she gets her arm. No.
All dressed in white like Mother Bailey. Yes.
Roxanne is a criminal who needs to be dressed in orange.
No.
And she goes to jail.
No.
Roxanne goes ahead and bends Lyra's arm back behind her shoulder over the ring. What do they call that? The turnbuckle, but it's the screw for the turnbuckle. And then she goes ahead and basically does a stomp on the fingers that pushes the arm all the way down, and it potentially breaks Lyra's arm. It's a good spot. It's fine. Roxanne's fucking out of control and needs to be suspended.
My favorite part's her tweet. I did something bad, but why does it feel so good? I love that Taylor Swift reference. Thank you, Roxy. Thank you. I love it. Yes, I will find it anywhere, Ed.
You know what? She's 12 years old. She doesn't even belong on television.
No.
Shawn Cena says, if it was a heel turn for Roxanne, I'm excited for it. I'm still not. I'm still sick of Roxanne. I still don't care. I understand she's 22 years old.
Thank you.
She looks and feels like she's 12. Or SummerSlam in Detroit when there's multiple main event matches. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you have more than one main event match, you have 0 main events, just so we're clear. 45 minutes and a Taylor Swift comment to add to the Taylor Swift compilation.
Yes. You're welcome.
Lyra's brought to the ambulance, and both Shawn Michaels and Ava are both seen on camera. First time we've seen Shawn Michaels on camera in a while. Except for his commercial where he's going to try to make us believe he knows how to play a video game. Which I know is not true because I've seen this man try to operate an AOL chat room.
He types like my dad.
It is.
Sorry,
we then
Dad.
get Blair versus Fallon Henley. Actually, I want you to take over on this one. This is a little quick for me.
Yeah. The thing I liked both aspects of it because even though it was short, I feel like both girls had a little bit of like moments to themselves to showcase themselves. But I had a feeling, and I knew it because not only because I read the report, but I had a feeling already because of Blair being in the card, the soul was gonna return. So to me, I was not expecting the return to be the way it happened. I was more expecting like maybe something after the match. But for her to be where the audience is, by the barricade, stand there, wait for Blair, hit her, and then put her back in the ring so that way Fallon can take the pin and win. And I didn't hear a reaction at all from this. It felt really weird for Soul because Soul was so loved by the audience before she got injured. And then Cena's like, there's no reaction whatsoever. There was no cheering, no booing, no nothing, as if people didn't know who she was. It was very interesting, to be honest, for Soul. I don't know how I feel about it. Yeah.
Well, it didn't help that she was in street clothes. It didn't help that she's wearing the biggest of knee braces on that knee to protect herself. I'll be honest. It took me 3 seconds to put together who it was, too, when they popped her up there. And I'm like, who the hell's the bottle blonde on the ring? on that thing. Like, who the hell is the? Oh, it's Sol Ruka. Okay, that makes sense.
I knew automatically since the moment the match was set up. Once I saw Blair, I was like, Sol's returning during this somehow.
It was fine. I wish the match would have gone a little longer. I'm glad Sol Ruka's back. I was enjoying Sol Ruka. I think once she starts getting in the ring, the fans will remember who she is and what she does, and everything will be all right. But this was not the way to return Sol Ruka. I would have returned her in a promo. I honestly would have. I would have done a vignette talking about Sol and talking about wanting retribution.
It was really
I know
lackluster.
I know it doesn't do the surprise thing, but it would have made sure the crowd remembered who the fuck she was, so you didn't have what happened tonight happen.
Because if you notice the difference, if you go back and watch last week when they put the promo at the beach and it says "See you soon," you can hear the reaction because the crowd automatically knows it's her. But then now I don't know if it was the spot in itself because
Shit, that was Sol Ruka.
oh my god.
I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what it was. I didn't even think about it being Sol Ruka. Yeah.
Now I'm looking for a new co-host because this one doesn't know what he's talking about.
You put us in the wrong spots now. Newman Co says it's a mid-return. It was a mid-return.
Yeah.
And also as opposed to Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels technology, even in 2024. I think that shot at AEW during the WWE Hall of Fame really aged well. I mean, you know, there's a reason why WWE doesn't take shots at AEW often. Because they don't do well with shots. They just don't. Yeah, this match was all right. But again, telling women's stories. NXT, again, is at least doing that. NXT is continuing to have women on television telling stories that don't involve a championship.
I can't believe it took a week to notice that promo was hers. Holy moly.
No, it didn't take me a week. It would have taken me forever because I wouldn't have put two and two together. I still would have been asking later on who the Bleach promo was about if you hadn't said it was about Sol Ruka. I'd be wondering. We have JC talking down to the Chase U guys about their loss tonight. And then Thea comes rambling in saying that she thinks she has a tag match after the fight with them. And JC's like, well, not us because I'm not here next week. I'm busy. And her and Mandy Rose wannabe walk off. Wish.com Mandy Rose. Yeah. Speaking of women's segments, we're going to clump them all together here. Gigi Dolan's backstage in GM Ava's office wanting a match with, I believe it was Ariana Grace. They didn't describe who the her was that was ducking her, but I'm going to assume it was Ariana Grace. But it could have been the fact that she wanted a rematch with Jada. Because at one point it was something about winning the match and the person running away. And I'm like, I don't know anymore if it was about Jada or not. So NXT did a very poor job of explaining to me what this segment was about. Then Ariana Grace walks in, being the delightful energy that she is, whom I adore. And she's asked about having the match. And she's like, no, I really don't want to have this match. Yes. Ariana Grace giving another promo masterclass. She was great. She's like, look, I get that we're all about fighting, but I don't want to fight. I don't want to do this stuff. But she agrees to fight Gigi. But if she wins, she's going to bring the lady out of Gigi. I am all in for Princess Diaries version of Gigi Dolan.
Princess Diaries. Oh my god.
If you guys haven't seen Princess Diaries,
The pictures.
they take this dorky version of Anne Hathaway and make her a beautiful princess. And the method that they take to do this is hysterical. And I want to see Gigi walking with the book and trying to figure out the forks. Like, I want to see it all. And then, yes, I want to see the makeover with the two, like you said, the two photos and pull them away. I can't wait. I am praying that Gigi loses next week.
And it's funny because she's talking about like getting rid of the vulgar language. I can just imagine her kind of like I do with the pageant girls with the book in here. You gotta walk straight with the
Yeah.
heels and everything. Oh my
Oh yeah.
gosh.
I literally want them to watch, as he says, Disney Princess. I want them to go on Disney Plus, and I want them to watch the Princess Diaries, and I want them to do it almost scene for scene with all the princess stuff in there. I need it. I need it. I need it. Get it in my veins. I need it.
Oh gosh, that's gonna be fun.
Ariana Grace is delightful and lovely, and she's so good. And I'm glad that they're not sticking too closely to this whole I don't want to fight thing, because that's stupid. They can't under any circumstances go with the I don't want to fight thing. They can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
But they can go with I don't like to fight. That's better. I'm okay with I don't like to fight. But my God, if Gigi wins next week, I'm going to be very upset. And next week makes me wish that the Kabuki Warriors should be on NXT next week, demoralizing the NXT Women's Division and not watch a Disney Princess. Oh, what's wrong with the Disney Princess? I think Ariana Grace is delightful as NXT's pageant queen. It's fine. It's perfectly fine. We finally get away from the women's segments to have Shawn Spears outside talking about how he's asked, do you think you're going to have a match with Ridge next week now that, everything you've done to him? He's like, well, I sure hope so. I've done a lot of hard work to make Ridge want to have a wrestling match with me. I hope he does. Rage is Ridge's best friend. And next week, I'm going to teach Ridge to embrace his rage. I'm all for Shawn Spears being this, vindictive, rage, enabler, where he takes these big, burly dudes who aren't doing what they need to do and going ahead and, just clearing out the division with these big guys who give in to the darkness, embrace the hate type of things. Mm-hmm. I think there's a lot of, I think there's some mileage in something like that. We then get the Candy Crew in the ring.
The only time I celebrate that they're in the ring.
And Astrid, I'm going to let you go ahead and talk about this segment, as I know you were excited about it.
This is the only time I would say I love the Candy Crew being in the ring. The only time. You can mark it right now, 55 minutes. The only time I would say that. I've been waiting for this moment. No, I like having the crew in there. I like how I think almost everybody talked except for Randy Jr. Yeah, I call him Randy Jr. He's sticking with that name. But having them all say obviously it's where this is a true champion with Charlie Dempsey, but we're as a collective, we're all champions. We're all going to defend it somehow. So I think it's pretty interesting having the free world rule with the cup. I feel like it will bring something different to the table from what we have a metaphor. I'm glad it's out of Noam Dar's hands. Freaking finally. I am so happy that happened. And when I heard that music, let me tell you, it took me a moment. I said, there's no freaking way. There's no freaking way this is happening. William freaking Regal on NXT TV after how long? I miss him on TV. I really did. And to come face to face.
They had to wait to the new year. They had to wait to the new year because of his AEW contract.
I love the chant. He's like, he's your father. I loved it. It's face to face with this son for the first time ever on screen. Chef's kiss. It was brilliant. I loved it. And I love having him tell him, he's like, I hope you bring that kind of heritage to it. And he's like, it will be better than what you did. And I was like, that moment from the crowd, he's like, oh. And then the way he looked at him, I was like, I can just imagine him trying not to smile while he's doing this in front of his son this whole time, just waiting for that moment and then waiting to his backstage to actually react to it. I just loved it. I really did.
Do we think we're getting William Regal versus Charlie Dempsey at Stand and Deliver? Is there a world where we actually get that match? I know he's retired. I know he doesn't want to have any wrestling matches.
But in wrestling, you retire.
But can he come? I don't think there was ever a time where he thought he'd be in good enough shape. And by the way, the Heritage Cup rules match is the perfect place for a guy like Regal to come back. Because he only has to wrestle 3 minutes at a time. He only has to be able to get through 9 minutes. I think you can do this in 2 rounds. I don't think you need to go 6 rounds.
Who will be in his corner, though?
3 rounds. I don't think he has anybody. I think he'd be by himself.
Hmm.
I mean, there's people you could bring. I mean,
Here we go. Give it to me. Come on. What is it? Who is it?
no, they won't. They wouldn't do the trade. Is what I'm thinking. Like, I'm trying to think if there's any. There's no trade you could make. I'm like, could you? That's true. Robbie Brookside, that would work. Robbie Brookside is still currently under contract and not working for the WWE ever since NXT UK closed. Yeah, Robbie Brookside could do it. That would make sense. They are very close friends. I was also thinking Doug Williams. Doug Williams might do it. British Heritage. I was trying to think. Nick Aldis. I'm trying to think of anybody who's like British wrestling through and through, like those big name wrestlers who are British. And I'm like, Nick Aldis, maybe. Robbie Brookside's a really good shout. Yeah, I think there's a couple people there's enough people that I think you could do it. Plus, I don't think you'd need to do the whole fun and games angle with Regal. Grado. Oh God, could you imagine if WWE gets Grado after AEW refused to use him? And was he at All In? I don't think he was there, was he?
Yeah, he was in the 0 hour.
0 hour doesn't count.
He was still there. He was in the venue and he performed under AEW. So, but it was just once.
I'd be down with Grado, but Grado doesn't
Harry,
fit
why? No.
Grado doesn't fit William Regal. I get he's British wrestling, but no.
No.
Although it would be part of. I think WWE is going to need TNA in the coming month because I truly think that they're going to get Tommy Dreamer to do the speech for Paul Heyman. I think Dreamer's the guy. I know everybody keeps saying Punk and Bully Ray says Austin would be a good one. I think it's got to be Dreamer. I mean, Dreamer has bad. I know there's bad feelings between Dreamer and Paul, but if you're inducting Paul Heyman in the Hall of Fame, I feel like it's got to be ECW through and through.
I was gonna say, me being at the Rumble junket, I was so surprised when I saw him there. I'm like, am I in the TNA grounds? And I didn't realize I was here. And I forgot it's because Busted Open was there. So
yeah,
I
wouldn't be surprised if they managed to get
Bobby.
I mean, I think you say he clearly needs the money. I think Raven might be there, but I don't think Raven's going to be inducting anybody. I think Raven might be going in. I think Raven might be going in the Hall of Fame. But the Candy Crew, that whole segment just made me think, is there a chance? Is there a world we live in where we get William Regal versus Charlie Dempsey at Stand and Deliver? I know it's probably never going to happen. But come on, please. Can we please?
I can say it's wrestling, so never say never.
We then get Lash and Mensa trying to figure out how to get Noam out of the whatever zone he's in, and they start talking to him. Instantly, he's okay, and he says that they've got bigger and better things on the horizon.
Just slap him silly, he'll be fine.
By the way, it was so great to see the Heritage Cup without all those stupid stickers all over it.
Yeah.
And then we have the main event. We don't get a list down of what's going to happen next week, which I thought was
Yeah, we did.
Oh, we did? I didn't write it down. What did we get?
Gosh,
What's
I
coming next
definitely
week?
need a new co-host at this point. They put Rich and Shawn for next week.
Okay.
And then Oba versus Brooks.
Okay.
Okay.
That's it?
Okay. Yeah.
Stuff.
Okay. Yeah, still. And then they had Stone watching the Lexus King promo.
Oh, I did have that written in my notes. I'm sorry. Yeah. Stone wants to take on Lexus King all by himself because he has a death wish.
Yeah. Now we get to the main event.
Now we get to the main event. Main event was great. I love the main event. Main event was fantastic.
I feel like aside from the ending, of course, I just take that aside from this conversation right now. Nothing stood out to me in the match in itself. The match wasn't bad though, but like nothing really stood out to me within the match in itself. I just I had read earlier that Trick wasn't there, so I was like, I had a feeling he was there, and this is why Ed was bringing up earlier, because there was a moment when the security guards catch Carmelo, and when they do, they kind of like highlight one of them more than the rest of them, and I kept thinking that has to be Trick. It has to be, and I was waiting for that moment that he would take off the mask, because when the first time, I say first time, and because I'm going with this for a certain way, the first time the Trick theme song came up, they showed the guards. So I was waiting for one of them to turn around and go hit Carmelo in the ring, because he was closer to the ring than to the entrance, whereas the other ones were closer to the entrance ramp. So this is when we get that moment of like, it's a music, Carmelo gets distracted, Tony takes advantage, Tony wins, which I was, okay, that's fine.
I mean, we get this music.
What is that? That sounds weird. Oh gosh.
Yeah, that's
and I love the crowd reaction though. Like this dude, I said it to you, he has the crowd in the palm of his hands again such a way. That reaction was just incredible. And then to have Tony win the match, and then he's like, no, he's like, sorry, I had to do that. Basically, I wanted to win the match. But then the music actually happens the second time around. And then I'm like, okay, so is it really him now? And that's when obviously Trick comes out attacking Melo. And even just him just jumping up and down in the ring, that crowd was just like, it reminds me of the J with the rhythm and everything. It was just lovely to watch. It's like, I'm glad he's back. I miss Trick Williams. I can say that.
Yeah, Trick is over. Like, it's one thing to be over when you're there and they're pushing you. It's another thing to be gone for 3 weeks and you come back, and that music is, while it's better with the crowd. Like the online version's no good, but it's so good with the crowd. They are so into him. He is a star. STAR, capital star. He is a star. And they need to put this world title on him ASAP.
Yes.
But the thing is, I think this will translate outside of the PC. This will translate to the main roster. If they don't wreck him, he will be able to go to the main roster with that crowd. Because that chant, as long as they don't do what they did to Tiffany, which is cut her off at the knees by taking away her theme song. Yes, WWE, I noticed you changed my girl's theme song on me.
It's not the same.
It's not the same. I hate it. I hate the new theme.
Yeah.
No longer Tiffy time. But I'm glad she's getting a push. But no, back to Trick. I think that it's incredible what he's done with this crowd. That he was the other guy. Melo did exactly what he needed to do. Melo got Trick over. They put Trick with Melo so that Melo could make Trick a star. And they did.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a bigger star than Melo, but he's certainly a bigger baby face than Melo, which is what you want.
Yeah.
Because Carmelo, while he's fine at being a baby face, he's much better at being a heel.
Yeah.
You can see it. The segment he had after he attacked Trick, the segment in the barbershop, those promos are cut so much better with him being the dickish heel. Yeah. Trick is easy to love. He's a big guy, full of energy, who just wants to have fun. That song makes you want to have fun. It's not glorious levels, but it's getting close to glorious levels of over.
I mean, we already kind of saw it when he saved Carmelo on SmackDown, though. Like, we heard a little bit of the crowd, just a hint of it, because obviously the song didn't last too long. But even just to be able to hear that in the main roster, which is one of those things that just, like, it doesn't happen often. It was like, I was very surprised it happened, and obviously in a good way. And I'm like, I cannot wait for that to happen in the main roster, like, on a weekly basis, because it just sounds incredible.
Yeah. Astrid, what do you got coming up this week? Oh, by the way, we've got a little bit of a video here. Why don't you go ahead and set up this video so that I can play it as we talk about what you've got coming up this week afterwards.
Okay. You want me to play it, or you play it?
Well, I want you to set it up first. Tell us what it is.
Well, I miss doing interviews, as all of you know. So I've teamed up with Body Sam, so I can do Astrid Ask with Body Sam now, which was officially announced. I've been waiting for months for that to happen. Thank you, Cassidy. I've been impatiently waiting, to put it like that. So I did my first one yesterday. I recorded an interview with the real deal Sada Steele. Yes, I love saying that so much. She's one of the girls in MLW that Bobby talks very often about. So hopefully sometime this weekend. I don't have a date yet, but the interview will be live on the Body Sam channels, and then it'll be live on my YouTube channel. So it's the first of many to come, hopefully, at this
That
point. But
featherweight championship. Those ladies, I've worked now with all of them except for Janai. She's ducking me, or I don't know if Selena is letting her duck me, but all those ladies, I will say, as much as we hate each other, they have a special place in my heart. You know, I've beaten all the women in MLW. So Janai's next.
Yep, Janai Kai is next for Zeta Steel. I know Zeta Steel because she's working on the indies over here in the New England area with Beyond Wrestling as part of the Brats, which I hope you were able to talk to her about.
yeah.
So I'm hoping to get a look at that interview. So that will be fun. We have a comment from Bobby jumping in saying, and congratulations on the addition to Body Slam as well. They're lucky to be getting Astrid Ask on their channel. They are indeed. Astrid Ask is fantastic. We are very excited for you. What else you got coming up this week, and where can people find you on social media?
Well, I hope Belle is still watching. Hopefully we do have Ladies Wrestling Showcase now that I'm back and hopefully not that sick. Friday though evening, Bobby and I don't know if we'll be a third person with us. We'll be doing the post show for TNA at Sacrifice. I keep forgetting the name of the pay-per-view for some reason. So that would be exciting. But that's all I got for the weekend aside from the interview. So really excited. So Ladies Wrestling Showcase, TNA Sacrifice post show, and the interview this weekend. Busy weekend for Astrid again.
And where can we find you on social media?
No, I'm kidding. You can find me at astridpizarro on Instagram, Pizarro20, Instagram and Threads, Twitter and Blue Sky, Astrid Pizarro. There you go. That too. Okay, fine. If you scan the QR code, you can just shop at wshop.com as you usually do. The sales and the prices don't change for you, but a little bit goes back to me, which is what we usually use to pay for the graphics that we use for the shows here.
Make sure you go ahead and do this when you're picking up all your merch for WrestleMania weekend as it comes up in just a few weeks at WrestleMania. And of course, if you want to look as stylish as Mike did last week, you can go ahead and pick up your natural Astrid Pizarro shirt by scanning this QR code or going to foryourwear.com/Astrid-Pizarro, Pizarro / again to go ahead and get that wonderful shirt. And this is what the shirt looks like. It's fantastic. It's lovely. You can, of course, follow me at Twitter on EdFries, at EdFries12584. You can follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/EdFries2002. You can see me all my simulcasted content from our local establishment there. And as well, I was there earlier today. I took a little bit of an early afternoon to go ahead and stream some 2K24 as I wasn't able to do it last night due to Steam having some issues. But you can also catch me tomorrow night. I'll be streaming some more during AEW Dynamite. You can go ahead and catch me streaming 2K24 as we're going to continue with GM mode. We're going to probably play a little bit more of my faction. We're probably going to play a little bit more showcase mode. I know I got 2 matches in today. I'll probably get a couple more of those in this week. You can also catch me next week as we're going to be having next week Marvel Talk returns as we talk all things Captain America, the First Avenger. The MCU rebound continues with the first Captain America as we get on our way to the first Avengers movie. It is the final movie before the Avengers, so make sure and catch us with that. Hopefully me and Ashton sometime next week will be back to you probably next Monday with another edition of Talking Takeover as we talk Takeover Fatal 4-Way. That'll be all kinds of fun stuff. We are going to be going ahead and rating, I believe it's Mini Portable, right?
Yeah, I don't know why. It takes me a moment to, like, when I read it, it's like, is it portable? I don't even know. Yes.
We are rating a new friend, Mini Portable. I made sure to follow her on both accounts earlier today as she is streaming some 2K24 as well. So we're going to send all of you lovely people over there. So go ahead and send some love to her as streaming is difficult, especially when you're gaming. She's playing some 2K24, hopefully. So we're going to go ahead and send yours all over there. We greatly appreciate it, and we will see you all next time. Goodbye.